Good afternoon, YouTube. So this is our biggest property up to date. You can see leaves everywhere. So you can see Jacob over there. He's going to start blowing the perimeter. So pretty much when I got here, this is going to be a quick video, but this is pretty much how you're able to stay busy or keep yourself busy during fall or during winter, especially right now because we're in a drought. Leaves are starting to fall like crazy. And as a business, especially if you have employees, if you're a new business, you obviously want to team out. You still want to come out here and keep working. And I've touched bases on some of my videos, but again, all you need, obviously, if you already have a mower, I could go and like bag all these leaves, but that's too much work because then you would have to find like a dump site, or if you have like a trailer or a dump trailer, you would be unloading it and loading it to your dump trailer. And in my area, they're not going to be paying like $500, $600, $700, $800 for that. So a cheaper alternative where it's like a win-win situation where you're able to come out here and work, and then your client kind of gets like a leaf cleanup as at a discount, essentially. So because we haven't had any rain, we typically do the backyard for this client as well. But he came out, he's like, hey, hasn't really grown. Do you think we can skip the backyard? And I said, sure. I was like, yeah, I understand it. It really doesn't need it. Even the front yard doesn't need it. He does have a lot of leaves. Grass has grown very little, but I mean, if I was the client, I'd be like, just skip us. But he wants to keep us, he wants to give us some work, but he doesn't want to be paying for the full, what is it, like 5 acres that we do. So he just wanted us to do the front, which I would say it's probably like 3 acres. And he's like, is that okay? He's like, I'm not trying to screw you over. He's like, but the backyard hasn't really grown. And essentially he only worries about the front yard. So like, yeah, we'll mulch up your leaves and, clean up his property. And I'm still able to come out here and work. This could have been avoided if I just billed him at the beginning of the month, but this is a big account he didn't want to be paying beforehand. But he's given us work pretty much all summer. And then we kind of went over my winter services, which, I told him come November, we switch over to once a month, and he was okay with that. So, I kind of have to pick my battles. So at least we're going to keep this account during winter and whatnot. But anyways, to offer like leaf cleanup, all you need is your mower. You need like a shoot blocker. So I have the quick shoot. So pretty much, this opens and closes it. Let me see if I can show you guys the blades, because you need mulching blades. Without the mulching blades, it's not gonna do what it's supposed to do. So you can see these are the mulching blades, and it has these it's a little hot, these 3 little high lifters or whatever. I don't know what they're called, but these are kind of like slanted upwards, and it has like 3 little spikes. And then that's what is mulching up all the leaves in here. So when the shoe blocker closes down, all the leaves are getting stuck in here, and it's pretty much like blending them. And the shoe blocker is obviously to close it, and it does that effect. So you can see all these leaves that are down here. And pretty much the first thing you want to do is blow a perimeter. So you want to blow all, you can see my little circle here. So I blew out all the trees because there was a bunch of leaves in there. You want to blow them out so that it's less work. Same thing around the house. You want to blow around the house. You want to blow the driveway first. For this, you kind of do it backwards. It's blowing first, then you mulch up the leaves, and then you blow again. But look at all these leaves. And let me show you the section that I've already done. If you can tell the difference. So it does, it has a couple here and there, but I mean, you can tell the difference. So when he comes out, he's gonna be like, oh, all my leaves are gone. And I'm like, yeah. And I kind of set his expectations of why we come out here and work and do what we're supposed to do. Because a lot of clients are gonna be like, hey, it's winter, bye-bye. And then we'll see you spring. And then you're like, wait, well, I still got to make money. I still have employees. I still have bills. And that's why a lot of guys either get a part-time job or they just throw in the towel, because it is discouraging when your client doesn't want to offer or doesn't want to give you work during the slow season. But maybe you're not offering, these type of services. But anyways, it's really straightforward. All you do is you just mow back and forth, and then you blow again. Typically, you have to like blow the perimeter, mulch them up, and then as you're mowing, it's gonna sometimes push it back to those little crevices. So then you have to jump on the blower again, blow it, and then mow again. But it's a lot of repetitive. But I mean, you'll see the difference. So some things to keep in mind is obviously pay attention to which way the wind is blowing. Because if the wind is blowing this way, there's no way I'm going to be blowing against the wind. So for us, you pretty much have to like check, if the wind's blowing this way, then I'm going to blow all the leaves that way. And then that way the wind kind of helps you push all these leaves. So use Mother Nature to your advantage. Sometimes you're in a property where like the wind is just working against you, and it is what it is. So when the wind is working against us, then both of us are blowing at the same time to go against the wind. But come fall, this is like very early fall or just the beginning of fall. But come fall, like it looks nice right now. Within the next day, it's gonna look like we did nothing. But again, it's just like ongoing maintenance. So it's cheaper for the client because we're doing it in sections, and we're able to charge them a little bit less, or we're able to charge them less, opposed to like doing it all at once when all these leaves fall, and we would be here like twice as long. So it's kind of like a win-win where, again, we keep coming out, and then we tackle this like in sections, because I mean, you can imagine how crazy this property would be if we did it all at once. So what was it? At the beginning of the season, I got a client that pretty much waited till spring to do like a fall cleanup. And for that, like, I think I charged her like close to like $1,300, because we were there like 4 or 5 hours with 3 guys. And that's just like an example of why you can kind of like push your clients to do like bi-weekly services, or like maybe like once a month services during winter, to avoid getting hit with that big bill. Because essentially, if we do it all at once, like I said, it's going to take a lot longer. And with her, she actually signed up with my services all year round. So bi-weekly, then monthly during winter. That way, I told her like that way, I won't, whoever you go with, they're not going to charge you like an arm and a leg. Because it was such a mess. There was like leaves everywhere. But same thing, what we did today, it got that job done, even though the leaves were everywhere, and probably like 3 times as much as we, whatever we mulched today, there was like times 3 or even times 5 leaves during, in that project, during that, whenever we serviced her property. So, I mean, mulching blades and a shoe blocker is definitely the way to go if you're trying to avoid getting the whole like dump trailer and a vacuum. And in my area, again, I just don't see people paying $500 to $800, to do all that, when you can easily do this. So it does take a little bit longer, but you can see the results. I mean, I'd say it's probably like 80 to 90% clean. And then that's why, again, it's important to first blow your perimeter. So you can get away with just the mulching blades, because the shoe blocker is expensive. So this was close to 500 and they installed it. But if you're a DIY-er, all you need is kind of like a metal plate. Measure it, cut it, add some bolts, and then you have your own little mulching kit, and that's probably what, like $30 to $40. I'm not much of a handyman. I mean, if I really wanted to sit down and do it, I could, but a quick shoot was on my list for, since the beginning of the season. So I knew I was going to buy it. But, I mean, look at it. Beautiful. So, again, this is just how I run my business. Y'all have your own businesses. Y'all run it how you want it. For me, this is what works for me, because in my area, a lot of my clients, they don't really care about the leaves. But once they see the difference, they're like, okay, yeah, if you come out once a month, you do this, yeah, sign us up. I could charge them, 30 to, I'd say like easily $30 to $50 more per visit. But, if they, for me, it's like, they've been good clients. They give us work all year round. And the alternative is they go back to like not wanting it. They're like, nah, it's good. We'll wait till spring, when it needs it. And they'll get someone cheaper to do it. So it's kind of like a win-win situation where I'm not stuck at the house and kind of like wishing I could be out here working. I'd rather just be out here working, making a little, I guess the same, or I could be making a little bit more. I don't know. You got to pick your poison. So for me, this works for me. But yeah, I think he'll be pleased. Whew, it is getting a little warm. So, I mean, it's barely, what's today's day? I think it's the last week of September. So I do think in my next couple videos, I will pick my winner for the raffle that I did, or I already did it. Most likely I already did it because I'm behind. Or I might put out this video earlier just so you guys could get an idea of what to do during fall. But yeah, this is how you stay busy during fall or winter if you're a lawn care business. Hopefully this helps y'all, but like always, like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I did forget to mention, so the good thing is that during this time, like, you're not edging, you're not weed eating, you're literally just blowing, and you're just on, someone's blowing, someone's on the mower. So essentially it does take a little bit longer, but it kind of evens out because you're not doing the extra stuff, because everything's pretty much dormant already. So I mean, that's a good thing. It's less work. I'd rather be mulching leaves than be out here during summer, edging, weed whacking, and all that stuff. And again, for me, this works because I look forward to kind of like taking some time off come winter. But I still make some money to stay afloat and still bring some kind of money and give Jacob some hours. But I mean, if you're not like me, you want to be out here working, you can just tell your clients you come out bi-weekly all year round, and then during fall and winter you do this essentially. And I mean, there's a lot of clients out there that they'd be okay with, and other clients will be like, well, nothing's growing, so what are you going to do? And you kind of have to like educate them, like, we'll trim your shrubs, we'll mulch up your leaves, keep spraying around your flower beds if you have like a pest control or whatnot, or like a herbicide or fertilizer license. But anyways,